you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. Recently, we rented a sod cutter and we cut up lots of sod all over our yard in order to basically upgrade and improve the area. Now it's time for me to take care of all that sod, roll it up, get it out of here, and start my beautifying process. I garden in zone 8B in coastal North Carolina, and it is kind of a chilly day, overcast day today, so I figured it was a good day to get some labor in. Basically, the idea here is I really want this area in front of my greenhouse to look inviting. My greenhouse is one of my favorite places to be, definitely in the chillier months, not in the summer, but I want this to look as inviting as other spots in my yard. So my plan for today is get the sod rolled up, start making a pathway to the greenhouse, and then kind of see how things go from there. But it's time for a beautiful entrance to one of the most beautiful places in my yard. Sod has been removed. Now I would like to figure out how to edge my, I don't want to say flower beds, but where my trees are growing, they have a certain amount of dirt that have always been up higher. And then where the banana trees and canna lilies poolside gardens have also had a bit of an upslope. So I need to now decide how to edge those, if in any way, or just a nice solid line. I believe what I'm going to do here at the bottom is I'm going to use that wheelbarrow full of gravel that we got delivered for our addition on our driveway. So I have actually a few wheelbarrows full of that gravel that I can use there. So I think I'm going to do that. I have some stepping stones. So that part's okay for the walkway. I just have to think about the edging and then go from there. Going to go ahead and give these paving stones, paving bricks, whatever, a shot as a line here to separate the kind of gravel that I'm using in front of the greenhouse versus what I'm going to use on the side, potentially in the back as well. I know I have a mix of hardscape stones going on here, so I have to just decide whether or not I want to continue with that. Otherwise, I may actually move these warm toned stones out of here and continue using the same gravel that I'm using in the front. It's just all a matter of how the colors come together, but I feel like in this way, this is when you're an artist, when you're designing your landscape and you're testing the waters. You're seeing how things can turn out, and that's okay if they have to change. These stones or bricks or whatever the heck are definitely more red than anything else I have. And let's just see here. As I take a step back and I look at everything I have going on here with the red brick, the warm toned stones, these stones, everything over here, I think everything is too different. If I take up these warm stones, which in fairness I had started before this project, maybe I will just continue on with all of that same gravel from over there, swoop it this direction, and use the warm stone somewhere else. That's what I'm thinking right now. This is the part when you really hope you're not making a mistake, because I'm about to dump that whole wheelbarrow out and I'm not going to pick up those rocks once I do that. So here we go. The hard work is done for now. My entrance so far is feeling amazing. It's just looking a lot neater. It's nice when you edge your flower beds and you get your straight lines. So the gravel that we have down is crushed limestone. And then of course I got more of my black mulch, which I think is an awesome contrast to the light colored gravel. I was able to pot up some flower arrangements with some of the things that have been waiting for me wintering inside the greenhouse. So for example, my dipladenia, my dark colored elephant ears, I can't remember what the variety is called. I have other items that were inside my ground that I added to some of these flower arrangements. For example, creeping Jenny, the succulents that I have inside my little head planter, all of those things are already inside my landscape. So I really utilized things that had been in my yard or in my greenhouse, and like I said, we're just ready for me to go. So it's probably only going to be a matter of a few days at this point before my greenhouse is empty, because our weather is now warming up and it's starting to get too hot in there during the days, and I don't want anything suffering. So now it's time to little by little bring all of my goodies outside, get them into pots or into the ground, and put them into my landscape. So as you look at some of the containers that I have potted up, I have dipladenia over here with the creeping Jenny coming out of the pot, and I have another dipladenia here. They had both been inside the greenhouse in one pot that they outgrew for sure, and so they just needed to be transplanted. I choose dipladenia for a lot of my flower pot arrangements over something like petunias because our summers here are so brutally hot. Petunias don't stay great for me between all the sun I have and that brutal heat. So even though I love them, and every spring I think this is it, I'm getting more petunias again and I'm gonna try them and it's gonna be amazing, they just don't last. Whereas the dipladenia starts now and I have it for the whole rest of the season, definitely until frost time, but I haven't overwintered mine both inside my house as well as in the greenhouse, and here we are ready to use again. This pot right here also overwintered for me exactly like this inside the greenhouse. So these are begonias. I was also able to successfully propagate begonias this year using just cuttings of the cane and putting them into a jar of water. And then after about 4 weeks or so, those began to root. And I have those in other pots now because I was able to do that. So these guys have pretty much bloomed all winter long inside the greenhouse. So this pot was just ready to come right back out exactly as it was. So that's this. This planter is actually the same thing. I have some autumn joy sedum in here. I have some of the stone crop sedum here. And then in the back, I just popped in a couple of canna lilies because I had dug them out of the ground just to allow them to grow a bit inside the greenhouse. So that planter is exactly as it was. And then my head planter, oh, I couldn't wait to get back outside again. Inside there is just creeping Jenny and that like kind of draping rosette cascading sedum. That's all that's inside the planter now. And then I'm going to pop some sort of color in there. I just haven't decided on what that is yet. But again, that was exactly how that one overwintered. So I feel super lucky to even have this beautiful space to be able to overwinter a lot of these things. Oh my gosh, I just so lucky. Over to this side of the greenhouse door, I have some more pops of red. So this is just a stool that has been serving basically as a plant stand inside the greenhouse. And again, the red dipladenia overwintering, just simply transplanted that. The geraniums I actually just found on a clearance sale for my spring shopping haul. So that and the dahlia both came from there. This planter was one of the coffee cans that I had painted up. I did that as a winter project because you know how it is when you can't get your hands in the dirt, you think of other gardening projects you could do. So all the items that are in here have been in here also since the winter, but with sedums, and this is the purslane, so it's kind of like a tropical sedum. I think this one's going to have orange flowers, so that's in here. And I have a little oyster plant tucked right in, and then of course the snake plant, can't miss that in the back. But having all the vibrant red, I love that. Over here to this side, I have these dianthus, which are red. So this is not their permanent home, but I just felt like it looked really inviting over here next to these guys. And then right behind me, not sure if I'm completely blocking it or if you can see it, I have a little light pink flower, or not little, a flower pot with some light pink on it sitting on a little metal plant stand. That is the arrangement that I made with other things that were on sale during my spring haul. So I have two polka dot plants in there. One's a light pink to match the pot. One's like a red color. And then two Dusty Millers that just complete that arrangement. And it was perfect because I needed something as an end cap right there. I will, of course, be continuing with my landscape plan all on the back side of my pool area, but that is a job for another day. I hope you enjoyed this little transformation. I certainly did, because of course now I get to walk into a more beautiful space, but this time of year is so inspiring anyway. Good luck with any kind of projects that you may have going on right now, and happy planting.